Oh, welcome back, kiddies. I have to say, I feel wonderfully refreshed. I was at LichCon over the weekend. Got to meet up with some old friends and make some new ones. Great opportunities. Good fun was had by all. Still sober, no soul sucking. Just networking and good times. But speaking of meeting up with old friends, I think we need to see just what's happening with Penn. His romantic. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Let's find out. Too many warlocks.
Fun fact: when you're a lich, they're all old friends. Thank you for that. So, welcome once again to Too Many Warlocks. It is Monday, and some of us are back from a wonderful trip at Gen Con, and others of us slept into a minor sleep coma throughout the weekend. I'm not going to tell you who that was. It might have been me. Now, I am your benevolent dungeon master, Puck, and I am here to play a game of Dungeons & Dragons with my friends, these fine people here. They are in no particular order. One extra spicy Key 3 tea leaf, one wood-paneled Mr. Richard Bennett, one ever-exciting and distracting Mr. Guy Boutomps, and one very absent from school, Mr. Peniton Wright. When last we left our heroes, they fell in love with another one of my throwaway NPCs. No, we went to Candlekeep, and Penn learned some things about his past. Learned that he was not in control of his body for about 2 years' time. And the party took advantage of this opportunity to avail itself of some knowledge in this place that was available. And also, a super sneaky spy mission was taken on by Miss Tea Leaf, who followed a group of what appeared to be mages of some sort into the restricted section of the libraries at Candlekeep to attempt to discover what they were researching. And she also acquired a couple of cool things for the party as well. And then we went to a stand-up presentation. We had Penn had a date. All right.
More.
And we had a little cutscene. And now you guys have spent the night at Candlekeep. You and Kat spoke long into the night. And where did you go to rest?
I would assume I would have walked her back to wherever she's staying and asked her directions for my room, wherever mine is.
All right, you receive directions to your room. It's not far from hers. When you arrive at your room, it is a simple dorm room. You go in and there's 2 beds inside. It appears you do not currently have a roommate. However, on your side is covered with notes.
Ooh. That's so cool. So it's like there's 2 beds and then my side has notes. Is there a desk or like a bookshelf?
There's a desk, a simple bed, a bookshelf.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna sleep tonight because I have to know what I was doing. Like looking through all these notes, because that's the first thing I'm gonna do is just start from one end and work my way through if I can, because I have to know. I have no idea what I was doing for 2 years or 2 years ago or whatever it was.
All right, a lot of the notes are: you were absent. I had to take up your slack on the churro wheel. Where are you? I'm tired of running this room all by myself.
Why won't you answer my texts?
I will be filing a formal complaint. It's just a ton of notes like these signed off from your previous roommate, Mr. Francis Xavier.
Okay. All right. And so I don't know how to feel about it. I mainly want to know. So none of these notes are mine.
They're progressively more passive aggressive.
Okay.
Just get straight into aggressive territory.
Yeah.
Like, hey, screw you.
Oh man. All right. So
I tripped and broke my neck. Now I'm in a chair.
is there like anything of mine left behind that isn't
under the thick layer of passive aggressive notes?
Like
an archaeologist, you pull back the layers and underneath there is your history.
So yeah, quick, just
so yeah. A small pile forms. You have a simple bed. It's nicely made. You have a number of books on necromancy and adjuration, conjuration kind of sprayed out on your desk. Specifically, you note all of the books are marked to passages about communicating with the long dead. And in fact, it seems that you are researching being able to delve in the secrets of people who have been dead for centuries.
Whoa. That is exactly what I would have been researching, but wow.
Just this is so on brand for me.
I'm just looking at these books and I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's about right. And I guess I'll sleep here and kind of, I guess, collect my things, just to take back home with me, I guess.
All right. You have a number of kind of school books kind of laid out. You have a couple notebooks of your own notes detailing magical theory and the things you've learned. A lot of it's stuff that you know already. However, occasionally in the margins, it's written, need to find the solution. Family is depending on me. As though you were trying to motivate yourself.
Okay. I guess just a cursory can I do either like a perception check or something just to like in my mind think, okay, you're me. Where would you keep things that you would not want just out in the open? Because, everybody's got one spot like that where you put like, either your valuables or whatever.
Your stuff that you don't want no one to ever find ever.
Oh gosh.
Like the weird beholder pornography that you have amassed and collected.
Everything is tentacles. Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and hope not.
Okay. So give me an investigation check with advantage because you are investigating a place where you did reside, although you cannot remember it.
All right, let's roll that twice. Ooh.
That's pretty good. So you do look over everything and you find a section of this simple bed where one of the posts is loose.
I'm gonna either try to twist it or pull it off, or however that would work. Attempt to take it out.
All right. You extract it, and inside there is a note.
I'm gonna read that note.
The note says, Peniton, we know you won't fail us. I know you understand how important this is. Once you uncover the information we need, return home immediately. The future of the family is in your hands. Signed, your mother, Sophia.
I have a mother. I'm both touched and irritated at the same time because I'm like, these aren't answers. So I just take that and very gently, flatten that out and tuck that into the very front of my grimoire, front page or very back, one of the two. I'll decide, but very gently put that away because that seems important. And then I think I'm just gonna try to sleep, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But an attempt will be made.
All right.
So not only have you not been in school for 2 years, you haven't called your mom in 2 years either.
Ruh-roh.
It's been a wild ride.
You don't have to worry about us killing you.
I'm sure I can. Actually, can I talk my way out of that?
All right. So, yeah, that's what your room is like. So, the rest of the group, I imagine you guys gave Penn some time to be alone with Kat, since they're clearly so close.
Yep. Yeah, I stayed in the bar.
All right. The bar does have an inn with a couple rooms if you guys would like to stay the night there.
So if my next plan go badly, I got the backup and I go find a bunch of loudest, most obnoxious university boys partying in a corner. And I walk up and said, so which one of you got voted most likely to be an alcoholic, eh?
And they're like, yeah, Sigma Pies. And they're all like chucking back.
Drinking contest, eh? Everybody
This
buy
is
a round.
You find a wizard fraternity.
First round's on me, drinking contest. Last guy to pass out, take all the gold on the table. Bang, 1 gold on the table, order a round.
All right. Yeah, they a roar from the crowd and everybody's shouting and hooting and just going on with this throughout the night.
Yeah, I got to make up for the fact that the girls at university don't like me. So yeah, I'll spend the rest of the night drinking in with the boys.
All right. Anybody else have any plans while we're in this magical mystery school?
I want to write a letter, and Penn has the sending stone, doesn't he?
I think it's in the bag of holding. I don't keep that on me, I don't think.
Okay. If it's in the bag of holding, I'll pull it out and call it MT1.
All right.
Hey MT1, I'm gonna put a letter in the vault. If you can get it to Kishano.
Very well. I shall do so.
All right. I will send you what's in the letter.
All right. It will be a simple task. Simply transferring between the two vaults is easy enough.
Cool. That's what I wanted to do. And then I will definitely watch Geese.
You're going to enjoy the show?
Yes.
Whatever the medieval fantasy equivalent of a keg stand is taking place.
For one thing, I keep randomly using Mask of Many Faces to turn into each one of them in turn. Every time one of them says something stupid, I turn into him and say it back.
Oh, and they're loving it. There's like shouts and slogans that you've never heard of before and that probably don't make any sense are being thrown back and forth.
Sigma poo.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to leave the festivities because I'm always the stick in the mud.
Okay.
And pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs and pore over the notes about Oberon that I stole from the book.
Very well. It doesn't unveil a lot of new information about that. Not a lot of stuff that you didn't already know. It's mostly like third-party research in, learning that number one, Titania had taken a champion, and number two, Oberon figured it out and was not pleased. Which, I mean, isn't news to you.
No, not even slightly.
But it was clear that somebody wanted to know that he definitely wanted to know who this was. Thank you so much, the prone noob.
Is that... Oh, the pro noob. That's...
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think I get it. All right. Anybody else want to do anything else this evening? Is that it?
I'm going to pretty much start beautiful minding, circling stuff on the notes.
Moving back and forth.
Not even to that point, just very angrily fixating on them.
All right. Penn, are you just going to stay the night in your room?
Yeah, I trust they found a room, and I have so much to mull.
I have so much to sort out in my poor fractured mind. All right. So night passes. We pass on into another day. And the morning bells begin ringing at Candlekeep.
Oh, so early, eh?
And everyone arises, and people are shuffling off to go to do their studies because regular classes aren't taking place currently. And you are all free to awaken and reconvene.
I checked to see if I woke up alone.
You did. The wizard school bros are actually remarkably good at just making sure everybody's okay when they're trying everything. There's that guy that is basically like takes the role of the handler and makes sure that everyone's okay at the end.
I know it wasn't me because the clothes are folded. So
Yeah.
Oh, I got to look those guys up again, but maybe not tonight. Oh. Go find some breakfast.
All right. There is a simple breakfast being served at the Candlekeep Inn, so you guys can get that together.
Yeah.
So anybody seen Penn?
Frozen anymore.
No, he disappeared with... What was her name?
Yeah.
The Sparkle Bright, I think. That's the only part I remember.
Catherine. Cat.
Yes.
Cat, Sparkle Bright, right? I remember, right? For sure.
And I haven't seen him since. At least when I went.
Okay, for sure. Say no more, eh?
Perhaps he found his room?
Probably something like that. I found out something before we left the keep, but I forgot to tell you guys. I tell you now, and then we tell him later before I forget again. Eh? I talked to MT1. He says last time he was incapacitated, but when Blackwind escaped, according to him, he says as long as MT1 is okay, that nobody and nothing get into or out of the mage tower without his permission. So as long as he's not broken, Blackwind don't get out. Eh? So it is a valid trap.
Oh, we should probably find out what broke him, just, to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Absolutely. We are trying to make, at least in my head, I am trying to make Blackwind think that the same thing happened this time as last time. So I want him eventually to think he broke him again, but he don't. Eh?
Ah.
Trickery.
Fool me once. Shame on you.
Subterfuge.
Fool me twice.
I'm not going to beat this guy with that stupid looking mace I got hanging on my side. Eh?
And
the plan is always just stab. Eh?
It's a pretty straightforward and good plan. Hasn't failed me yet.
Yeah, you've been unconscious how many times now? Eh?
the girl who did stand up last night and left with Penn.
Oh my god.
walks over to your table and kind of takes a seat with you guys.
Did you kill him?
No, but that's a fair assessment. You guys are Penn's friends, right?
Yes, we are. Kind
Yeah.
of almost like family.
Yeah, we
That's
are.
sweet. What do you know about Penn?
In this conversation, I don't know where I am.
Oh, no, you're at the table. I assumed you came down for breakfast.
I did, but I keep freezing during random intervals. I
Good.
All right. So, yeah, she's just posed this question to you all.
I mean, what don't we know about Penn?
He's a good kid. A little naive.
To be honest, he don't know much about himself. I don't know how much of that part we know, but it's not much of not much, eh?
I was worried.
Thank you.
Penn seems different than he was when I knew him before.
About that, eh? I would like you to tell me what kind of person he was, eh?
Well,
Don't tell me he was happy.
No, old Penn was kind of abrasive. He didn't really get along with a lot of people. He had a hard time making friends.
I can see parts of that.
What was he, you know what he was studying here, eh? I mean, like, we all know in school, I mean, like, you know, when you're at university, you got access to that big library, you go to there, you read your own personal shit, eh? What was his own personal shit, eh?
He was very studious about necromancy, adjuration, and conjuration, although he didn't talk a lot about what he was looking for, just that it was very important, and that couldn't be bothered to explain it. Like I said, he was kind of abrasive.
That's a hell of a combination, eh? The undead, conjuring them, and making them go away. That sounds like a man with a plan, eh?
I thought so as well. But I thought it best not to pry.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't bring up what you can't put down, eh?
Absolutely. I had to put away my curious nature.
Oh, what was it you were searching for, eh?
Oh, I'm always searching for things. I like to study. I feel very at home at the school. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you all, because new Penn feels better than the old Penn. Whatever's going on, I think you're having a good influence on him.
Well,
Whose
he's
fault is
definitely-
this?
Well, he has definitely been important to our group, keeping us all together.
He's the leader, eh? It even says on his business card, eh?
Oh, I'll have to pick up one of those. That's amazing that he's come so far, even as a dropout. Well, if you ever need the help of somebody with 4 doctorates,
Oh my God.
please let me know.
I was going to ask how long you been here.
Oh, I've always been here. Ha, that's a joke.
Well, you had me. I was going to ask next if you had a heartbeat. Eh?
That's funny. We should do a set together sometime.
You bring the booze, I bring the loudspeaker, eh?
Absolutely. I love to get rowdy. Anyway,
Speaking of rowdy, where's Penn?
I imagine he'll come by in a bit. He has a bit of catching up to do. I have some more studying to take care of. I just wanted to thank you for your good influence on him.
Certainly. Do you happen to know where his room is? That way we could catch up with him.
Of course. And she scribbles on a piece of paper. This is his room number. You can swing by his dorm. Anyway, have a fun day. And she gets up and walks away.
So I guess we can either wait for Penn to arrive or we can go surprise him.
I don't think my vote counts, but I'm assuming everyone wants to go surprise him.
Oh, I want to go see his room, eh? I want to see a picture of what band is up on the wall. Eh?
All right. It's not far for you guys to get there. So with the room number, you're able to access the dorms quite quickly. Penn, are you still hanging out in your room at this point?
I'm asleep.
You're fast asleep. You stayed up too late.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in classes, and even if I was, I probably slept through a few. So this is very much like sunlight streaming through the window. I'm all half cocked with my hat over my eyes, just like there's books and notes from where I was trying to piece shit together last night and just passed out.
Just like splayed.
Yep. So I'm just
All right.
asleep with the door closed.
All right. So there is a knock on your door.
Is it or is it like a?
I don't know. Who's knocking?
Ah.
I have wooden
Oh.
appendages. Except wood on wood is lovely. Just
I imagine that I go to knock and then see Richard.
So I roll. I roll out of it. I'm like, and I look and I realize where I am, and I'm like, I would imagine I'm having a weird moment of deja vu because I also am not used to being here, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay. And so I get up and I walk over to the door, straighten my hat, and
before
I'm just,
Penn opens the door, can I just yell something?
oh God.
Mr. Pennington Wright, you're missing your classes again!
I don't, and I open the door and I'm like, oh, good morning to all of you.
You're not setting a great example, eh? First day back, and what you do, you blow off all your morning classes, eh?
This is not, we're not. I open the door and I'm just like, come in here. Because I know you want to.
There's a pile of passive-aggressive notes in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I am looking for the most embarrassing thing that I can find, like the picture of the boy band or something, anything.
There's
grandma hand-knitted toques, you know.
actually his section of the room is sparsely decorated. There's nothing of that sort. You'd have to ask Penn about that. Penn, is your note from Mom still out?
I put it in my grimoire.
Okay.
Yes, you did. Yep.
All right. It is not out. No note from Mom.
I'm mostly asking for geese' sake.
Oh,
Oh, I had a good look. I didn't see anything. It's all good.
Okay. So
Like I need more ammunition.
this has been a trove already.
all right. Well, yes, this is apparently where I lived. I found some of my effects and such. So, and I lift up a stack of books. So I was like, so these will be coming with me. But I'm not, I don't know. Was there anything we wanted to do while we're still here? I would still like to go see my professor one last time, or first time. I don't know if he was my professor. Actually.
So I see you slept in a pile of there's many rude words on these papers, but it looked like there's some other stuff there. You did you slept here last night. Did you find out anything about the old you? Because we did.
What did you figure out? Oh, thank
We
you.
found out you
Thank
were
you,
an
Thunderscape.
asshole.
Oh. That
For
Does-
sure, like big time. Your best friend in the whole world described you as abrasive. Eh? That mean asshole in my language.
oh, you spoke to Kat? We talked most of last night. Oh, you must have seen her this morning.
At the breakfast, yeah. Apparently she don't sleep much, eh?
And then she blamed us for having some sort of influence on you.
But
Look how he
possibly.
phrases that.
What did Key3 say? I'm sorry.
Oh,
A
she's
positive influence.
The short answer is she like you very much.
Well,
So
I
possibly smarter than all the rest of us put together. You know, she's got multiple doctorate. Like the older women, apparently.
she's so smart. It's breathtaking, honestly. But I can't. There's too much happening right.
She's probably also as old as your grandmama, eh?
I actually don't know. I didn't think to ask.
But
But
she's got multiple doctorate. Those don't come like 2 years at a time, eh? Do the math.
last time I talked to her, she only had 2 PhDs, so I don't know.
So apparently she's quick as she
Got 2 overnight.
Look, stuff happens.
Pack books.
You're underestimating just how clever this woman is.
Regardless,
I'm just making Penn uncomfortable. That's all.
regardless, I will want to speak with her before we depart from here. But I do the last things on my list. We already have the paperwork to get the keep reinstated as an extension of Candlekeep's programs. We've gotten intel. We've gotten a few books that of each of our own interest, and I met someone from my past. The only thing left to do now is to go speak with this professor, see Kat on our way out, and then we can head on to Key3.
So when I was in the restricted section yesterday, I found something that referenced unusual items that liches can use as a phylactery, I think it said.
This is actually
Like,
really important because I don't remember if this was. There were 2 books you saw that were listed under necromancy, and I picked them both up when I went back, but I don't remember if that was one of them or if that was a completely separate book.
I think that was a separate book because
Okay.
this was specifically on liches.
Okay.
And it mentioned like books could potentially be one. So, perhaps we want to go back and see if there's like a way to identify. Because he had a diary. Maybe I'm drawing weird connections, but
Oh God.
you had the diary, right?
Had is a very key word because that book is now part, and I pull out my grimoire and I'm like, that I don't know where the books that I put into this book go. I don't know if they are absorbed and then assimilate, in which case that would make, and I just kind of hold it really weird with like 2 fingers. No,
So
No.
maybe there's something that about like identify like
Yeah, if you need to go back, I still have the restricted pass. I kept up with it. Do we want to go together then?
we could try and get in together. I mean,
Oh.
worst case scenario, you like have a big cloak and I'll just sneak in underneath it.
Fair enough. All right.
Go
And
into the
it bars that way.
One more thing before you go, Penn.
Mm.
Your girlfriend, she tell us you were studying before, even when I told you before you were an asshole. When that time, I told you that, right? That you were an asshole. Yeah, okay, you know that, right, for sure. She also say you are studying 3 things here on your own time, necromancy, summoning, and abjuration. So you got any idea why even before you meet your patron, you are studying the undead, how to summon them, and how to send them back?
Because to us, this does not ring great.
Firstly, the only things that I know, and I think for a second, and I sit down on the bed and I take my hat off and put it in my hands, and I just am messing with it, and I'm like, I do not wish to get into the details because they are few and far between. But all I can tell you, and I open up my grimoire to the passage about the Grand Archivist and how all that from last time. I just open that up and sit that down in front of them. And while they're looking over it, I'm just like, something happened to me. I was serving my patron, presumably, in some quest for knowledge that I was on for my family, which is in a place across the seas called Kalistalos, I believe. And I don't remember why or how, but I found some key to releasing my patron, who I heard some weird rumors about, but I need to do more research to figure out what that's about. And then I was not in control of my faculties for a brief while, theoretically, which may or may not be why I have no recollection of it. So I think that's the long and the short of it. Found that out. Don't know what it is. I don't think I'm evil. I'm not evil. That's the important part. That for you three to know, I am not evil. I have no idea who or what my patron exactly is. And it's real confusing for all parties involved, I'm sure, but you can imagine how I feel. So, yeah, there's that. And I just kind of leave that mic drop of a moment.
Well, that's well over 100 words, and you don't really answer the question, eh?
I don't have an answer. I can tell you that from research here, and I point to the walls where I've kind of probably accumulated my notes and stuck them in binders and stuff and just whatever, or notebooks. I was studying how to communicate with dead that were long gone. I'm talking dead that have been gone for centuries, which is fascinating. Like, I can't even, and I started to go off on a tangent. I'm like, as you can see, like, with these spells and this implications, you can actually use this.
Well, Penn, I like just communicating with the dead. To me, that does not sound like evil. Like bringing an undead army back to like attack townsfolk, that sounds evil. But
That
just
does
like,
sound
hey,
evil.
I want to talk to you. Like, there are people I would love to talk to.
Yes. Honestly, if need be, you can act as like a litmus test to my like make sure I'm not evil, because like I'm pretty sure that I'm on the level. Like I don't think I would do anything like that because that seems wrong. Like an undead army sounds great for the right reasons. Like right now, it'd be awesome to have an undead army at the keep because we need that. But like not to invade towns and stuff because that's wrong. It's the whole stabby thing, but it's like you have to have the right reasons. So that's where I stand on necromancy.
It's like a weapon or tool is not inherently good or evil. It depends on who is wielding it. That's what my grandfather always used to say.
Exactly. So I think we can all agree I'm not evil. I will let you know if there are any developments that lead me to believe that my patron is evil, and we can handle that as it comes. I don't think any of your patrons are evil. I don't
mine
know.
is definitely something.
I'm almost scared to say anything about Richard's patron because I don't want to be struck down.
There is like a 50% chance of that. I can talk crap about her, you cannot.
Yeah, exactly. But regardless, your two patrons questionable. I don't even know about Keythree's patron because I don't think she ever told us. Did you tell us?
I told you.
Yeah.
And I told you.
Super excited.
Yeah, she was really jazzed about it.
Oh yeah, because I was really up. I was like, oh great, I'm so glad.
It was post cookie, so like,
Yeah.
stuff was going on.
So
bad day, good day moment.
So good patron? Question mark? Big question mark.
Chaotic neutrality is a very difficult line. And it's horrifying. Hide the peanut butter. Things are gonna get weird.
On that note, I'm gonna say we should leave my room and go do whatever we're doing with the knowledge that we're all on the same page now. As far as I'm aware, we all know what we all need to know, and as far as I know. Anyway, and I just start to walk out the door with my armload of books and stuff.
And I say out loud to no one in particular, you know he's never been a good liar, right?
I wasn't lying. I don't think there was a lie in there. But then again, I don't remember, so...
It was actually much more like a sleight of hand magic trick. It was, look over here, look over here. Ah.
Everything's fine. I'm going to go now.
I'm just going to, sorry, at the none of us have secrets kind of bit, I'm going to share a slightly conspiratorial glance with Key 3.
All right. So, Penn, where are you going?
First, I'm just gonna knock out. I am looking for the. I'm gonna go ahead. Which is closer, the library or like the where the professors are, like classroom?
You're on grounds, so you're close to the professor's office.
Okay, I'm looking for Mikhail Darkwhisper, the necromancy professor, whom I can't remember if he was my professor or if he was just the necromancy professor in general.
Excellent. All right. Everybody, are you going with him, or are you just going to let him toddle off on his own?
Oh no, we'll tag along.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
So,
go
you make your way to his office, and as you do, a man in a long professor's kind of coat is stepping out of the door and locking it, carrying a bundle of books.
Professor? This may seem like an odd question, but was I ever a student of yours? Do you recognize me, Pennington Wright?
Yes, Mr. Penton Wright.
This is Alan. I've just forgotten his last name. Rickman.
You were a student in my class. Although you have been absent for quite some time.
Yeah, that was a weird happenstance. Do you know what I was... Did I discuss any projects with you? Apparently there was something I was working on for my family that I didn't tell many people about, but maybe I...
Constantly delaying class with your incessant questions.
Oh, so now Penn is Hermione Granger. Cool.
Hey, Cat told us he was an asshole, eh?
Yeah.
Although you did show some promise.
I am a great magic user. But some weird stuff happened with an elder god, I believe, or something. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was even by choice, but I don't remember most of it. And I'm just trying to piece it all together. You know,
I'm not interested in your shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
All right, well.
What he wants to know is if he was on the watch list, eh? You know that list they have of the students that might just go one day?
No, his studies were mostly benign.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. I don't think if there's nothing else you think you can tell me about me, then I appreciate your time.
Yes, I must be on my way. I have to finish my detailed thesis on the practical application and function of phylacteries.
And as I was turned around, it's that moment of, oh, hey, wait a minute.
You've just done a complete 360.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, whoop. You have study of phylacteries. You're doing work with phylacteries.
Yes. Although it is very common magic, we know very little about it.
Well, we have a field project we've been working on. It might just happen to involve a lich. So, would that be of any interest to you?
Potentially. Do you know the exact circumstances of the creation of this lich?
We were kind of there.
Yes.
Oh, now that is interesting.
So, Professor, how would you like to get some on-the-field experience as well for your thesis?
What is it that you have in mind?
Well, we always need some more people back at the Avalon Knights Academy.
That
And-
den of misfits.
Yes. However, for research topics in itself, I think you'll find it very interesting.
Perhaps. What more can you offer me about the creation of this lich? Did you see a phylactery formed nearby? What was the nature of this creation?
He tricked someone into bringing him to the land of the dead and made a deal with the final scribe.
Now that is interesting.
So
Did you
any
notice
thoughts
any...
on-
Oh, go ahead.
Any thoughts on what the phylactery could be?
If you did not see anything immediately created in the vicinity, or any items that were close by, perhaps important to the creature, or the one making the agreement, was there anything such thing there?
Penn, there's no way you can remove a diary from your book, can you?
I'd like to think it's like eating food. You're not getting that back, most likely. I can pull it up for you, but that's the
Oh, we might need to stab it.
I look at Guy and I'm like,
Well, don't we have under good authority he broke out of his phylactery, so we don't want that back one again. We want a new one. Can you do that? Can you make a new one even if the old one still exists?
Absolutely. There has been instances in the past of undead being trapped within phylacteries as prisons. However, if a creature is created into a lich after being removed from this phylactery, it is possible that a new one is created, a lot of times, by the power of the ones creating the lich.
Oh god, they are.
Occasionally, if it is an issue, as a means of controlling the lich. He who holds the phylactery controls the lich, because they control whether that lich can truly die.
So 2 questions. Can you make a phylactery bonded to one of us?
None of you are undead enough to do so.
I meant more as the person in control rather than the one inside it.
No, I would need power over the specific undead.
Okay, second
but
question.
like a dead body. Could
It's not
that?
unheard of. Did you notice any essence infusion at the time?
are you? And I looked at Keith. Are you talking about Cookie? I don't even remember what happened with that.
If you think you may be in possession of a phylactery, there's a couple things you can do to determine it. Number one is kill the lich, and then it will emerge from the phylactery in a number of days.
There's another
Two.
way, maybe?
2 is to damage the phylactery and see if it has any effect on the lich.
So we have to damage it but not break it, because if we break it, then the magic breaks, or is that just my head going in logical circles? It shouldn't go in.
You could break it, but then the lich would die. But if you damage it, it will feel the pain of the strike.
Well, one more question for now, but can you make one that look like a bedpan?
I imagine I could cobble such a thing together. Now, the last method to determine if you are in possession of a phylactery is to take a piece of the lich in question, and then there is a ritual that will lead you directly to it.
So that is both a problem and not too much of a problem. That scrap of fabric we have isn't exactly pointing us anywhere.
It's not them, eh?
At night it is. I turned
Anymore? Have we tried again since the incident with Calazar?
No,
we haven't.
I don't think we have. I still would have assumed it'd be part of him. Unless you think that radiant blast actually blew the wraith form completely out of him.
That is exactly what I think it did. I think it blew all the dark shadow magic out of him until he can reabsorb it. I think what Calazar did was make it possible for us to hurt him.
What exactly is the nature of this undead creature you are dealing with? This sounds very fascinating.
Perhaps, do you have a either we could step into your office or somewhere else other than out here in the hall, potentially?
Very well. He opens up his door and lets you in. And he sits at his desk, just kind of listening to you.
Okay. And yeah.
So is his interest, do I get a sense of his interest as purely like academic, or if he might have like...
Oh, there are checks you can make for that, Miss
Yeah.
Tea Leaf.
Same on my end.
Absolutely.
Perception?
Insight.
Insight.
All right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Dice,
Key3,
why have you forsaken me?
Key3, you feel like it's not entirely academic. Like if there was a guy that was interested in potentially becoming a lich in the future, it's probably this guy.
I'm gonna use my brain thinking. Oh God.
My brain talking.
Awaken mind.
Yes, thank you. Oh, Con. To just say to the group, we might want to be a little vague just so we don't tell him exactly how to become a lich.
I answer back to them. Do we even really know how to become a lich?
How much useful information could we really provide?
Honestly, we can tell them everything we know. None of it's useful.
Probably.
So he's asked us what the nature of this creature is, and so I'm gonna open up my grimoire to the diary and just kind of flip through, and as I'm thinking about it, just say, to give a very brief summary, this individual was a wizard. I believe he was involved in necromancy, but he learned a form of ritual that allowed one to absorb, and I look at the others to make sure I'm saying this right, the essence, the spirit, the being of something else into oneself to gain their power. And he did this, and I flipped through the pages a lot.
It's like reverse possession.
And
That
so,
is fascinating. Do you have details on this ritual?
no, actually, I was hoping you might. The only thing I know is nothing.
That is consistent with your academic level.
Burns like that are rare to come by.
That's that high class burn. Okay. There is legend of distant lands where they've found ways to deal with monstrous creatures by creating soldiers imbued with the essence and energies of those creatures. However, that knowledge has not been found in this continent in decades.
Sorry, this is a bit much for me. I'm wondering, is there any chance you can point me towards student records you may or may not have?
Those are confidential.
Any way we can make them less confidential?
What are you suggesting?
I'm looking for one particular person that may or may not have one point been a student.
Very well. Say I were to allow you to access these records. What would you provide to me?
A front row to a Lich beatdown, for one.
I'm afraid I would require something more.
And whatever you can gather from the Lich after we're done with it.
Just like a sea of shaking faces. No, I would require information.
And what would you like to know?
I would like to know everything I can about how this creature came to be this way. What exactly he's capable of. If you will allow me, I could copy the contents of the diary. I believe that would be an adequate trade.
Sorry, is Awakened Mind still going on?
Yeah, because I'm concerned.
Oh no, this is definitely a concerning thing. Is it? Or can someone reach out with it?
I'm keeping it on with
Yeah, the party line is active.
Okay. So through Awakened Mind, pretty much I'm gonna.
We need to know if Blackman was a student here.
I think there's other people we could ask.
Yeah, but how many of them can you bribe?
There also might be other ways we can get in.
Ho ho!
I like him only in the sense that he is of the same study that I
Oh
am.
no, he's super suspect.
Yeah, I don't want to give him this diary for not just practical reasons, for emotional reasons.
There's always you get it once the job is done.
I was just going to say, And then I say out loud, so let's make a deal, buddy. You want this, you know what we want, we get what we want, then you get what you want,
Very well. I shall take you to the records office.
After we put him back in the phylactery, either one you make for us or the one we find, and we take him to the final scribe and you do what you want with him, then we come back to you and we give you the access to the book,
No, that is insufficient. You want access to the school records, I want access to the diary.
And I threw away.
Have you ever been fed to a book, sir?
Through Awakened Mind, it's just like, no. Listen, I still want to go to school here, and this would essentially be my head of my department.
This guy pulled shit. I had enough of his crap.
Don't use me as a threat. Ooh.
Oh, that's intimidating. Oh, and he is not responding well to your intimidation. Are you threatening me?
No, I'm telling you, the last guy that looked in that book that wasn't him is now inside the book. That's all I'm telling you,
He's not lying.
Very well. I will take you to the student records. And then once you've defeated this lich, I wish to see all of the details about him.
I could write a thesis. Perhaps this could Perhaps
Penn, double we need. Stop.
I could get a PhD in necromancy and lich study.
We're reaching
Yes.
peak penitent right again.
Is Awakened Mind still open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
This
just
is
want
all through
to
Awakened
the
Mind.
rest of them. Oh no, I did that right to his face. I need to do it. I needed to stop that bullshit before he started trying to be boss of us. But yeah, I'll say to the rest of them. It don't matter what we tell him afterwards. If we can kill Blackwind, we can kill this fucker if he tries to do the same thing. Eh? Don't worry about it.
Awfully confident, Keith Toms.
This
There's a
guy's
lot-
no Blackwind. He's an ass, but he's no Blackwind. Eh? He wants the book so he can become Blackwind. If we kill Blackwind, then we're gonna kill this wannabe pretty easy. Eh? Or maybe you can save him. Eh?
Maybe. There's always a chance. But yeah, no, as we're walking, I'm like, I could write you a report of everything, and that will be your recompense for this. And perhaps, maybe, just maybe, it be part of my program, because, you know, then it's more on the record. It doesn't seem shady, because it's not like I just happened to do all this report work about this lich for this professor for no reason. I'm not saying anything weird. I just don't want the academy to look at it weird. So maybe a degree would make that more like applicable.
Like a master's degree in shadiness.
And
Yeah.
we're already headed to the records room. Work on this later.
Well, we got a long walk. Oh.
He's taking you guys down to the records hall.
Yep.
And he opens up the room and kind of leads you guys in, and there's drawers and drawers filled with scrolls and books and details. Very well. Work quickly.
Well, what was his last name? Eh?
It
I
was,
don't think they got him here under BW.
it's Moldavos something. And I start flipping through my grimoire notes.
Moldavos Korthek Blackwind.
Was his name always Blackwind? I thought it was when he became the Lich, he became Black.
No, there was always Blackwind.
Oh no, that's right, because we had that conversation.
Yeah, that talker is like, you got the evilest fucking name.
What's your last name? Blackwind. Oh shit, I don't want to hang around with you.
I got 20 on my investigation.
All right. And you are looking for some kind of details on Blackwind.
Yeah.
Assuming he went to school here too. That, but
You do manage to find a student register for Blackwind. Many, many years ago. Approximately 45 years ago.
Great. I'm just literally going to hand it to Penn and just book.
okay. And I is it what am I taking? I'm assuming it's a file of sorts, but like what is this thing?
It is just a paper that says Moldavos Korthek Blackwind, student registration, conjuration and illusion magic.
Please tell me he's a dropout.
No, he's had incredibly good marks, actually.
Damn it. I was really hoping to flaunt that over. I was hoping Guy or Richard would flaunt that at him.
Some ammunition.
Are you kidding? Even it turned out that Penn is even more of an asshole than Blackwind was. Are you kidding me?
I'll have you know.
Your best friend tell me that. Eh?
She also
The
said
one
that-
person who like you.
But she also said that Penn improved. So Penn has gone in a different direction than Blackwind.
Oh yeah, she liked the new Penn for sure.
I like the new. I don't even know Old Penn. Old Penn probably was an asshole. I don't know. It's not
There's
me.
no probably. You should have seen her eyes. She was convinced of the situation. Eh?
regardless. And I'm
Not that this isn't amusing, but may I take a look at your book while you pour through the records?
You see, it doesn't.
How close
What?
is he?
He's by the door.
Oh, cool. I can't get within 10 feet of him. I'm not within 10 feet of him then.
Professor, he was not lying. This book is quite volatile in nature. I don't know how it came to be bonded with me, but it will not allow another to openly access its contents. And I kind of shiver a little bit. It has quite a gruesome failsafe against such things.
I'm just gonna in the party line. I'm gonna say, Penn, try to get your book to blink angrily. Something in Morse code.
I hold it up, and because it's more of one of those like, well, why the hell not moments. I'm just like nudging my book with my mind, like, hey, like wink a bunch, or I blow a little. I take a little dust off the shelf, actually, and just kind of go, like, very passively sprinkle it in.
Very well. Can you tell me one thing?
Of course,
When
Professor.
it was created, was there anything of great importance to him nearby?
Coin?
Well, it's interesting you should say that. Do people count?
No, not usually.
What about dead bodies?
Potentially, but they would have to hold a great emotional importance. Or
Yeah.
academic importance, perhaps.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get rid of the body.
That's messed up. Why would you do that, Buck?
I haven't done anything yet. You guys jump into all kinds of shit.
So
Okay, we still fix this, and no problem. We take,
And what would be even more?
we still trap him in the new phylactery. We take him and Cookie back to the final scribe. We give the old package to the final scribe. Hopefully, either he keep Cookie's body and he rest in peace finally, or he give us back the finished Cookie, maybe. But then he's in the Blackwind is trapped in the new phylactery. The piss pot. I love the idea of presenting him to the final scribe in a piss pot.
you mentioned there was a ritual for leading us to the phylactery. Where could we find info on this?
Yes, I can provide you with the necessary book with the details.
I would take advantage of that for sure. You said the ritual, so for the first time in the game, Guy actually uses his book of secrets. And we'll use it to write down a ritual.
Very well. I shall give you the details. If you have a piece of the Lich, you can use it to find him.
I assume you're coming with to copy this spell. There's no reason why two of us shouldn't have it.
Oh yeah, I'm about it. Which reminds me, Guy, I have not copied down half of these rituals that we have, but I have them. I still have exorcism, feeding animals meat to make them sleepy. All that.
Which you're beginning to think that maybe the largest component of that was likely chemical and not actually a ritual at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it works, and I can call it magic.
I reach up and grab my fairly high collar and kind of fold it over, and you can see there's a combination of like tattoos and scarification along his neck. And he says, that one is find familiar, right? And just let his collar snap back up.
What?
You know me for how many weeks? You ever see me open a book, eh?
Did you? What?
I
Is your
pull
book?
up the sleeve on one arm and show you the inside of the arm. Same thing, all scars and tattoos. That one allow me to write stuff that's not really there, right? Pull the sleeve back down.
You are a ritual caster that uses your body as your tome.
Bingo, eh? Got it in one.
Honestly, not a bad idea. Oh my god!
Wow. That's so...
So
Well,
I
I
have
guess
to
you
tell
can't
this now.
misplace it.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if it gets ripped
Wow.
off, I just rescar it again. The reason I mention it now is because in a couple of minutes, when we're in there writing down that spell, I'm going to be screaming quite a bit, eh?
You know, if you wanted to, you could just take a copy of it and let someone... Do you have tattoo tools?
I have the ability to make the spell appear in my tome, so to speak, eh?
Okay.
It can happen from the inside. It hurt like fuck.
Okay.
And you know how long it take you to transcribe a spell? Like an hour or 2 hours sometimes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it take me the same length of time. So I hope you bring earplugs, eh?
I'm sure... Well, I can at least heal you afterwards, I guess. I didn't even...
But it don't work like that. There's no damage. It just hurt.
You have no idea how much I really want. I didn't even know Calm Emotions was a spell, but I want it so bad.
I want it for myself.
I'm anxious.
Oh, I've been sitting on that one for months.
Yeah. That was quite a bombshell. All right, so we've
Finally,
got,
a reason to tell them.
so we've got that now. We got to go do. And I'm looking at this paper and I'm like, I see it has his transcripts and like the study and whatever. And I'm like, this is not that useful. Not to discount information. Knowledge is power and whatnot. But like, this is not much.
Is there anything else you guys want to check for while you're in the records hall for Candlekeep?
Ooh, there is, but I won't. I respect boundaries.
God!
Very well. I will leave you in my office to copy down the ritual.
Okay.
I pull a towel out of my backpack and stand on it.
I have more study to attend to. I shall return momentarily.
Thank you. So he goes to do that.
Yep.
Get Penn's file.
Did you guys want to get Penn's file? His file is pretty easy to find in the records room.
4 inches thick. Drew it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot they shoved a bunch of those in there. I already left, so I don't necessarily care. But if y'all are still down there and you want to grab it, hey, it's more information on the me that I don't know.
So after he leaves you guys in his office to do this, to copy down the rituals, you guys don't see this, but he moves down the hallway and goes to sit at a table by himself. He pulls out a scroll and writes down, "To my benefactor, Mr. Stone. I have uncovered new information of the nature of Black Furies that may be of interest to you. I will present my findings as soon as possible." And he rolls it up and he hands it to the receptionist and says, "Please send this out immediately." And we will stop there for a break.
How can there be 3 people
Is
at
it?
Ttrpg's hit? How? Oh, damn it.
Well, I suppose there's yeah, I don't know, this is getting rough. Let's just go break it.
Hey everyone, in this video we'll talk to you about how to be a good attendee at a convention.
All right, so we've had a kind of convention survival guide before, but we didn't really talk about things that you can do to make your experience and other people's experience better at convention.
Sort of an overall etiquette guide to attending a convention, and it's a good thing to know if it's your first convention, if it's a big one, a small one, or if you're a veteran and maybe you think conventions are changing from when you first started to go. All right, so let's start off with this one. Practice good hygiene. I don't think we have to like dive deep into bad stereotypes or anything like that, but for me, just shower daily, wear deodorant, and plan for the fact that sometimes these conventions happen in places and at times of the year where it's really hot. I think we can leave it probably at that.
Yeah, and kind of off of that a little bit, just in the fact that like con plague is real.
Oh, yeah.
A good way to, if you see somebody that you are meeting for the first time or that you know, maybe not super well enough to be like, oh yeah, we know each other, to know like, oh yeah, you're a hugger, yes or no.
Yeah.
A wave is a really good way, a gesture to say hello instead of a hug or a handshake. One, you're not invading somebody else's personal bubble,
Yeah.
and maybe they don't want to be touched. Maybe they're not a hugger. And also, with a handshake, you're not exchanging germs.
Yeah, which can happen with a handshake. I know that's why a lot of people like fist bump too, but I love that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's in the video. But yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. A wave, it's a good first introduction type thing. You might have, people might have picked up on this a little bit. I'm just a tad extroverted. I love people. This is where I get my energy from, being out and doing stuff and meeting folks and all that kind of thing. Not everybody is, but I would say part of having fun and being a good con goer, you're probably going to be in a lot of lines. And talk to folks. Like, say hi. You're both at the same convention. I bet you got a lot of things in common. So say hi to folks. Try to strike up conversations while you're standing in line. It can make the line go quicker. You can meet new friends, find someone to play a pickup game with, and all of that kind of stuff. But like I said, I'm an extrovert. So, you know, maybe if I meet somebody who isn't, I say hi and ask how they're doing, a couple of things. And if they're not really biting, you know, if they're not in on this, they're probably going to be really polite to you and say hi back and answer your questions. But if you start to get the vibe that they just sort of need their own personal space, don't take it personally. You've killed a couple of minutes, and then you sort of go back to your own little space there.
And for those who are more introverted, I think it is good to kind of realize when maybe things are getting a bit too much and find opportunities to take a little break, whether it's just taking some time to be like, I'm gonna check in on social media or check in on, play a game on my phone or something, because that can kind of close into your own little world for a little bit and ignore everything else while you're in line. Or if it's, hey, I'm gonna go take a stroll outside of the convention center, get some fresh air, because then even if you take a little bit of time, that's going to mean that the rest of the convention, you're probably going to have a lot more fun and be in a lot better mood. And also, hey, if there's somebody who is being super friendly and talking a lot and stuff like that, and you need a little bit of time, just say, hey, I'd love to chat in a little bit, but I just need a couple of minutes to myself.
Yeah.
One tip, this is especially good for if you are meeting folks that you know through like online forums, or you're running into like us, is when you introduce yourself, go up and say hi to somebody, is to say, introduce your name and then add context of, hey, I'm Dawn. We chat on this Discord channel, or I watch your videos, because then it helps the other person clue in. And also, if you do that, then hopefully they will also give some context, because there have definitely been times where I've been chatting with somebody going, how do I know this person? How do I know this person? And then something gets like said, I'm like, oh, right, we're Twitter friends.
Yeah.
Okay, but I've only seen this little tiny picture of you.
It's the Inigo Montoya rule.
Yes.
Like, state your name, state the context, give your expectation for the conversation. I'm Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Who are you? Context, expectation. My name's Ryan. I watch your show and I really like it. I can't wait to see the next episode, and I wanted to get a selfie. There you go. What else do we think are really good tips for being a good attendee at a convention?
So with cosplay, always make sure to ask before taking a photo. Now, a lot of convention centers do have areas that are like taped off as this is places for cosplayers to go and stand for people to take pictures. So if there's somebody there, I usually like kind of hold up my phone and make eye contact and they'll nod and I'll take a picture. But if it's somebody just walking around the convention center, ask before you take a photo, and that also goes with non-cosplayers, but maybe celebrities or other folks just ask before you take a picture.
A tip that I've got, if you're at one of the conventions that has a lot of games, whether it's a board game or especially with RPGs, is take chances. Take risks. Allow yourself to maybe play in a way that's a little more daring or a little more out there than you normally do in your home game. Your home game, you might be playing for 2, 3, 6 months, 3 years, or something like that. We get really attached to these characters and we want to hold on to them. But most likely at a convention, you're playing this character once for 4 hours. So have fun. Don't do stuff that's going to get the whole party killed or anything like that, but allow yourself to take chances and have a little bit more fun, maybe play a little riskier than you normally would, and lean into that, sure.
While still making sure not to like cross any lines with other players at the table.
Oh yeah, by playing riskier, I don't mean like bringing up things that are clearly inappropriate, but just, things like running in and be like, oh no, I absolutely will be stealing the crown that's hanging on the side of the throne because no one's looking. Yeah, that. Not like hurt kids. Don't be a jerk. That's clearly not what we mean.
Yeah. Or even just playing a different character than you usually do. Yeah. Like, I tend to play a lot of clerics and magic users. So when I go to conventions, I'll try and be like, okay, I'm going to try playing the tank this time. Just to get an experience of playing something a little different and seeing, hey, maybe you really like that. And if you don't, it's one game and a couple hours later it's over. And you have had that experience.
And it's not just about how to make sure you're having a good time, but it's how to be a good con goer in general. If you're having fun and taking risks and not getting upset when things don't go your way, probably the other people at the table, they're going to feel freer to do that. And now not only are you having a good time, but you're helping other people have a good time. And I know that you've said a lot of the times at conventions, that's a big thing, is realize everyone's there to have a good time.
Yeah, everyone's there to have a good time and give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like if somebody bumps into you,
they're going to. It will, yeah.
Or somebody is short with you or something like that. I always just like, hey, it's crowded. People are not getting a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
They just, something else is going on. I'm not going to take it personally.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Everyone's having a good time, or at least they're trying to, but maybe people are tired. Maybe people are stressed. Maybe it's just hot. Maybe they're hungry. Hank and John Green say something. It's awesome all the time. Imagine others complexly. If you have an off day, you weren't trying to be mean to anybody. Well, maybe that other person was just having a slightly off day. And you know what? Also, maybe they're just a jerk. But don't let that jerk ruin your good time. Smile, shrug it off, and go to your next game and have a great day.
And another tip for when you're playing games is to be mindful of not monopolizing the game. So if you're somebody who tends to talk a lot and tends to kind of take the reins, that's okay, but then also pull other players in. Say like, hey, what is so-and-so doing? Or I'm going to go do this with this other character. So you're kind of pulling them in, but also let other players make their own choices. Don't make the choices for them, but involve everybody at the table. And you're going to have so much more fun if your character is playing with the other characters and not just doing their own thing.
And if you notice someone being left out, something that's really cool to do is make sure that you try to specifically include them. Now, maybe they're having a great time by being quiet, but if they just seem to keep getting skipped, maybe try something like if the GM points to you and asks you what you're doing, be like, oh, I know what I want to do with the lever over there, but, David, you had something you were just saying. It sounded like a really good idea. What were you trying to do? pull someone else in, and those kinds of things. And again, it goes back to it. If you're having a good time and helping facilitate others have a good time, everyone then has a really good time.
Yeah. All right. So those are our tips on how to be an excellent convention attendee. What are your suggestions on things you can do to improve your own convention experience as well as the other attendees' experiences?
Yeah, as well as don't forget to check out some of our convention survival guides, things to pack and ways to help plan. Convention season is absolutely upon us, and I hope that we get to see a bunch of you at the next one. We're going to be at Gen Con in August, so if you see us, come, say hi, wave, and we'll see you there.
A big thanks to our patrons, especially Arvi. If you want to support our channel, you can head over to our Patreon page and check out the perks of being a patron.
So until the next video every Tuesday and Thursday, or until the next convention, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dawn.
And this is Roll for Initiative.
Bye.
Bye. I said that weird wristwatch. Wristwatch.
In 1849, some damned fool found gold in California. Hundreds of thousands of other damned fools raced across the untamed country to claim their share. The locals, the outlaws, the bandits, the burning deserts, and the freezing mountains made sure only the toughest survived. 19 years later, in 1868, California fell into the sea during the biggest earthquake ever reported, and tens of thousands of damned fools died. The new West Coast went from Mexico to Oregon. Everything west of that became the Maze, a series of jagged mesas towering over the sea channels below. It wasn't a complete loss, though. In the aftermath, they discovered pockets of a rock that burned 100 times longer and 100 times hotter than coal. When lit, it put off a puff of pale white smoke. It also howled like tortured souls when it was burned, and long-term exposure to the rock, or the smoke, caused strange mental effects in those that handled it. Those that first found it called it Ghost Rock, and the name stuck. It didn't take long to convert traditional coal-powered steam engines to operate on Ghost Rock, and with the power-to-weight advantage of the new material, it wasn't long before smaller engines were in use. Horseless carriages, Ghost Rock-powered ships, and even steam-powered rapid-fire weapons are still as rare as hen's teeth, but they do exist. Or so you've heard. There's even stories of a device that uses the Ghost Rock directly to spew gouts of flame onto the enemy. It ain't been no picnic politically, either. The Civil War that began in 1861 has been horribly and agonizingly prolonged by the use of Ghost Rock weapons by both sides. It's still going on now in 1877. The inevitable weakening of the two main proponents has resulted in a fractured nation. There aren't two factions on this part of the continent anymore. There are 6. An organization calling itself the United States of America controlled the north of what was once one country. President Ulysses S. Grant is trying to claim the whole of that country for his side and refuses to acknowledge the other nations. In the Confederate States to the south, President Jefferson Davis needs to get that Confederate state recognized as a nation to get himself re-elected. Ruled by the strong-willed Sitting Bull, the Sioux Nation has recently bloodied the nose of the Union at Little Bighorn. Custer is rumored to have survived and may be putting together a mercenary army bent on revenge. Since Ghost Rock was discovered in the sacred Black Hills of the Sioux Nations, thousands of white prospectors violated the borders in search of riches. This caused so much trouble that the leaders finally allowed the whites to mine the Black Hills, but only if they would not stray from there, if they paid a fee to the nations, and if they lived only in the treaty city of Deadwood. Those who strayed outside these boundaries were considered trespassers and subject to Sioux law. The penalty was invariably death. A mysterious cowled figure known as Coyote has drawn together a coalition of Cherokee, Comanche, Creek, Seminole, Kiowa, Chickasaw, and Choctaw First Nations, promising the same success as the Sioux have in their lands. Very little is known about this Coyote Federation. They stick to themselves and almost never leave their claimed territory. The Mormons, aka the Latter-day Saints, aggravated most of the people back east, and so their leader, Brigham Young, packed them off as far from New York as he could get them. They ended up in Utah. Salt Lake City was founded in 1847. A few years later, Brigham declared the nation of Deseret would govern itself until such time as a properly functioning national government was convened. He doesn't expect to give up his nationhood anytime soon. Salt Lake City is often called the City of Gloom because of its incredible factories. These factories build ghost rock-powered devices of steam and steel. The constant cloud of ghost rock soot that hangs in the air and permeates certain sections of the city give it its less than cheerful moniker. Although not seen as a nation, or even as a potential nation, Colorado, Kansas, and Oklahoma are called the Disputed Territories. But don't let that fool you. They are relatively free of the war only because they contain such a high density of railways and trails passing through them. What with troop transport, moving equipment and feed for the soldiers and their horses, transporting all other forms of military equipment, and the occasional heavy crate of pillaged gold, all sides in the ongoing war are up to their necks in debt to the railways, and so a deal has been struck. Everyone uses the railways, and no one blows them up. Because of this deal, this area is booming financially. The railroad barons in particular are piling up the profits. They are also acting as the de facto government, unelected, uncontrolled, and unbridled in their pursuit of more power and money. After the Great Quake of '68, remember that, a few survivors, led by one Reverend Grimm, made it to the new coast and started the City of Lost Angels, also known as the Celestial City. It is a circular city set around the Church of Lost Angels. The Reverend Grimm preaches against the coming of the railroads. He is declared a sovereign state just this year. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, game creatively. Bye.
Okie dokie, kiddies. I have had a little bit of time to process the information we received. I hope you have too, because there's some bombs. But let's see how this plays out this week on Too Many Warlocks.
Welcome back to the show. When last we left our heroes, they were left alone in the professor's office to copy rituals while he sent the letter, probably to no one. That's where you are.
Investigation check. Boom. Please.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking around while they're copying.
I start copying the spell immediately, and it starts coming up around my belly button. So for the next 2 hours, I'm screaming and holding my belly and rolling around on the floor.
Awesome.
Wait, where is...
You both got a 6.
Oof.
We're too distracted by geese screaming.
It's just like,
Well, I should mention, because probably, so as not to ruin his shirt, he probably took, I just realized he would have taken off his shirt. So from the waist up, you can see him now. There's 3 in a row over his heart. There's one on each side of his neck. There's one on his left forearm. There's one on his right wrist. And there's a great big long block of text down his back. And then this one starts to appear around his belly button.
wow.
Ow!
What are they written in?
I mean, they're magical scripts, so I mean, some of them would be really obvious. The ones over the heart is prestidigitation, thaumaturgy, and message. He told you about the one on his neck was find familiar. On the other side is unseen servant. On his left inside of his arm, like a cheat sheet at high school, that's where he's got illusory script. And inside his right wrist, so it looks like he's taking his pulse, that's where he's got magic mouth. And then it's ceremony down his back, because it's actually 7 different things that you can do with ceremony. So it's one of those big block of text tattoos that nobody, you have to, can you stop for 12 minutes while I read your freaking tattoo?
Just
One of those all the way down.
hold still, damn it. Okay.
Yeah. And then this new one right around the belly button.
Wow. So we're learning a lot about Guy today.
There's a map.
But the 15 investigation check, the number above 10 for the class, you root through the papers, there's a lot of information kind of laid out about Phylactery creation, applications of Phylacteries, a lot of notes and kind of dissertations. That you do see a letter with an insignia of House Zelos on it.
Oof. Is it sealed?
It is open, and it is a notification of funding of thesis and research.
Oh no. And I turn to the other two and I tell them, I'm going to talk through Awaken Mind just for safety's sake, and because, Gee's screaming.
Yeah.
I'm talking to those 3, and I'm like, this may not be anything because Zelos has been pouring money into the school, but his research is funded by House Zelos. His thesis, I believe, based on this.
Cool. So we give him nothing.
Yeah, that's not the best thing to be knowing now after having this whole conversation with him.
I don't think any of us trusted him really to be.
Do we give him info but mislead him?
We could.
The best way to lie to someone is to tell them the truth.
Part of the truth.
Pretty much.
Oh, it burns so bad, but we already made the deal with him. It burns. Oh, geez, that hurts. It burns, eh? We made the deal with him already. After Blackwind is dead, you get to look in the book. Ow, 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 ow.
Did we ever
Did we ever say that he'd get to leave alive?
Wow, okay. Taking an awfully dark turn here, Richard, as right on par.
So what if we make a fake diary and then let your book absorb that, and then we can show him the fake diary in the book?
Or we could just make a fake diary and say I transcribed it for him.
Ha ha ha.
Either way, I have some great ideas. Dear diary, those undead are so hot. I am so confused by my feelings. Regardless, I think there are many other ways around this, but for now we have to save face and shut all these drawers so that he doesn't know.
We rooted through his desk and turned his office over like we were looking for money.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go over to where Guy is and start the process of also copying this down if I have time. So, oof.
Yeah. Through Awakened Mind, I will just remind them. Remember that I told you before, we give him the book after, but by after, we know how to kill whatever he does with the book, so it's not a problem.
That's still a problem.
Oh, you ever been kicked right in the belly button? Oh,
Yes. Multiple times.
not
Just
you.
go
You've
numb.
been kicked fucking everywhere.
Oof.
It's not untrue.
And it's only been 8 minutes. Jesus. Oh.
Oh man. Yes. So
So, do you read the letter?
Key 3 and I will read the letter.
I thought I had read the letter.
Oh no!
wouldn't have read-
I just let you know that you in searching you found a letter with the insignia on it.
Oh well, yeah. I'll crowd them around, having seen that, and be like, "Let's read it."
The letter states that the offices of House Zelos will fully fund his research as long as they are presented with any findings into the regards of the creation of phylacteries, the locating of existing active phylacteries, and the practical applications of phylactery use.
I turn to the other two. It's very much like, oh no. And I look and I turn to Keith and I'm like, I think we should. He's probably already read it. I do think we should take that book out of the restricted section that you were talking about. I don't think that should be left here, especially after those people were here.
I mean, they were the group that was in there was looking for other stuff, but I can also take that book out.
But weren't they also working for Lord Zelos? Was that? Did we know
they
that?
were wearing the Zelos insignia?
So
I
either
think an
way,
assumption can be made.
yeah, we know that House Zelos is interested in this study, which means it's not good. So we should remove that. With awakened mind, I don't know that anybody took the books, but I also didn't see anybody put any books back. And I'm naive, but I'm not dumb. So I say to everyone, I'm like, for the record, all the books we're taking, I fully intend to bring back, especially if they were checked out under my name. But not just. Anyway, this is important.
You guys want to steal shit? I got that covered. You can steal all the shit you want. Oh, just give me a bit. Oh.
Exactly. Guy's my man.
Knowledge belongs to everyone, although maybe not this guy.
So let's take ours. Oh, shit.
Which reminds me. So listen, I know I can put things in my book, but I also know sometimes I can trigger my book to just suck shit up.
Okay.
So if I put my book on this desk and just put it open and just kind of start shuffling stuff in, will it like absorb, or am I just like making a pile?
You the only way to know is to try it out.
Boom. All right. So I'm like, look, we'll make up an excuse. I'm going to leave that up to Richard and Guy, our distractions department. And
I'd call Guy distraction. I call me horrifying brute force.
Accidental fire?
Yeah. Let's do that. I mean, accidental.
And I slam my grimoire open on the desk, and I just like
spectral chains lash out in every direction. It's like a fucking chain spider web in here, and they latch into every interesting piece of documentation and information in this room, and then begin drawing them into the center of the book.
How is that? I'm not picking out.
The room is being stripped.
So Richard's already beginning a fire.
What are you doing?
He doesn't need to be sending this information to Lord Zelos. I don't want him to send anything.
We're sitting in an empty room, aren't we?
All the bookshelves are bare. Every scrap of paper is gone from the desk, except for the note saying that I will fund your research.
What about the book that Guy is copying out of?
Yeah, they grabbed that one too.
Oh. Oof. Guy, did you finish? or did I? Whoops! It's it's here now. I have it.
No problem, buddy. I just start over again.
Wait, it's still partially there. There's okay. Oh God. All right.
No, some things don't. You really are an asshole.
I did my part, and I'm clearly very visibly nervous. And I'm like, I did my part. Now it's up to you three to determine how we explain this away.
It's going through Penn's mind. I can never come back here.
Oh no! Fire! I have like 10 torches left. I already have one out.
I can do better than that. I can get us all out of here without burning anything.
But
Okay.
He's already holding like multiple torches.
fire.
I mean, we do need.
I walk out the door. As I do, I cast Enthrall on our nice friend there.
Okay, you walk out and he's just walking up to the door as you're walking out.
So hopefully, wisdom saving throw, unless he can't be charmed.
He can be charmed. He appears to be human.
But he is probably wise, or at least intelligent. I don't know about wise.
Please do.
I'm scared.
Some and intelligence are two very separate.
What does he need to get?
My spell save DC is 15.
Okay, he did not get that.
Excellent. So he now is at disadvantage to look at anybody but me.
Okay.
I'm going to add to that because I'm still shirtless.
Okay.
Point down to the bleeding mess around my belly button. I want to use disguise self to make it look infected. Like it's got, there's oozings and horrible things, and the belly button itself is kind of pulsing a little bit. Look what did happen to me. Hey, that book of yours is poison. And I leave the door open so these guys can sneak past behind me.
He's just staring at it. He's like, my God, that's horrifying. We need to get you to the infirmary.
And once he gets close and looks at one of them, goes,
Oh God.
Oh, it's so bad.
I think your book has got the disease, eh? Oh,
That doesn't make any sense.
Key3, while he's doing this, Key3, can't you forge documents really well? Aren't you good at that?
You forge all of this man's
No.
research.
No, listen. We, the note.
Talking.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just like, listen.
I need you to write 25 books.
No, it's fine. I've got this. I'm freaking out. Listen, okay. So I take the envelope that has the insignia of Lord House Zealous on it. I get out a piece of paper from my scholar's pack and I put it on the paper and I give her the quill. Can you make it look like an official document and it say, we were unsatisfied with the timeliness of your research. We have confiscated everything up until this point. Do better in the future. And I'll put it in this envelope and we'll put it down. We'll be fine. I can come back to school. I didn't mean to.
Yes, I will work on that forgery.
All right, give me. Should we do sleight of hand or should we do performance?
My thought would be sleight of hand since it's how well I can.
Okay. All right, use your finest sleight of hand roll. Let's see what you've got.
Oh no!
You have
Oh, dear.
you spelled pen wrong.
So it's not your best work, but it's decent. And you create this forgery letter.
Oof.
There you go.
There we
The whole
go.
belly's starting to ripple now. Like,
Yeah, no, it's
like
just
something's trying to come out.
the longer this goes on, it's harder and harder to maintain.
I got 1 minute. That's all I got.
Did he take you to the infirmary?
He's like grabbing
Trying
you and
to,
being
yeah.
like, "We need to go. This is not normal."
Every time he gets close to me, something breaks. And
Oh God.
Oh, just
hold him back a
please,
little bit, but I
please
start
follow
walking
me.
towards him, going, I don't.
No, that's close enough. Just follow me. We'll go to the infirmary and take care of you.
Oof. So we finished this.
Okay.
If there was a seal, I kind of mash it back or whatever. I don't know anything, and I just leave it on the desk, real pristine, like in this very bare room. Yeah. And then I guess I turned to Q3 and I'm like, I kind of feel like we need to go find him and like say that something happened.
No, we just run.
You guys are still in the office
I'm gonna
discussing
go ahead and
this.
say that maybe you shouldn't try and tell him something happened.
I don't want this to be a thing where I come back one day and I'm in the hall and it's just like, you!
Hey, he'll be dead by that time anyways.
Him or me?
Starting to spread up my chest.
The worst. Yeah, you guys are running out of time.
Okay, so I guess,
Let's go.
All right, fine. I'm out. I got everything I could ever need.
Just before enthrall wears off, like I got 60 seconds. At 55 seconds, all of it disappears, and I use disguise self again to. I mean, there's still the half-ripped half spell that I got
Right
in my belly. That's still there, but surrounding it now is an image of the sun. And I look down. And, praise Pelor and all his people! I am saved. I shan't sue. And I turn around and head for the door.
He's just stunned. This is truly bizarre.
And I see on the way out, Pelor be praised, Pelor be praised.
As you're running away, he goes into his office, and you hear echoing through the halls. Ah!
And all my clothes from the waist up are in, by the way. Yeah, I am now naked from the waist up. I have no armor, no shirt, no nothing.
Bring it with you at least?
Nope.
It's gone.
That wouldn't have made any sense, right?
Yeah.
If you were in that much pain, you wouldn't go, oh, let me fold this first. Put it back in my pack. No. I will leave it up to Puck as to whether I even managed to get my pack out of there. If
we'll let you pack, but yeah,
I think one of us would have grabbed.
We've grabbed some stuff.
If your
had
clothes were on the
time talking about it in there.
I mean, I've got a favor I need to ask you anyway, so I have a shirt.
You're like bargaining.
I'll give you your shirt back, but you're doing something for me.
Yeah, so you guys make it out of his office, and his audible cries echo through the halls.
Speed up just a little bit.
See, this is the laugh that makes us think you're going to turn evil.
But if you're stealing from someone who is probably gonna end up being evil, aren't you like the good, or are you a greater evil? Because I lean towards the first.
Number two.
Number
That's a clear number two.
Are you chaotic?
So is that line of reason? That line of reason is also a clear number two.
We have so much information on phylacteries, though. It's wonderful.
Anybody ever seen the Benny Hill show?
Yeah, no, this is what this is.
No, when I come out, I go up behind Penn and do, at the end of the show, when the little old bald man and he's chasing him around going bah, 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 on the top of his head. I start doing that with Penn, just going, no.
Hey, look, we did what
Penn,
we
we have 2 minutes. We have to leave.
Well, yeah, we're leaving, aren't we? Where are we going?
I thought we were stopping in the restricted section to get that book.
Let's do that. And I hand the other three the key card, and I hand the other three the key card, and then I walk off in a completely different direction in the library. I'm like, I'll see you at the front desk.
Why are we not going to the gate at high speed? This guy is going to have the campus cop on us in 30 seconds. Eh? As far as he knows, we stole his whole library.
And I look at Guy, I was like, we left a note, it's okay. And I flip around and
Let me say, if someone come to your place and steal all your shit and leave a note, you go, okay, maybe I don't call the cops?
No, we left a note that it was the Zelos who stole everything.
I'm off.
While we were in the room.
I'm already, if we were near the library, I'm off in the library.
All right, you're booking it to the library.
I'm in a different part of the library.
You are at the door of the restricted section.
Okay, if we're staying, I'm doing this. And I use disguise self to make myself look like a long-haired hippie student.
All right.
I gave y'all the restricted pass before I left.
Yes.
Okay.
I am not there.
You're not going. Where are you? You've gone to the front desk.
No, I'm actually going to the nook where we found Cat yesterday.
Okay.
I'm gonna
First,
go.
That is near the restricted section.
oof. Well, I'm gonna try to find her, preferably before the others.
Okay.
I don't know if she's there though. If not, I'll go look at her room.
She is there. She's still studying.
And I run up and I'm like, hey, you.
Hello, Penn. It's good to see you.
Hi. Do you have, this could be a weird question. Do you have any problem with me talking to your mind through my mind? Because I can do that.
I don't believe I have any issues with this.
Cool. Consent is important. So, and I project into her mind. I'm like, so listen, a real quick summary of everything that just happened. I may or may not have found out that a professor here might be working on some stuff that could be very negative in the future and for a very bad man. So I may or may not have stolen all his research, and he might be upset about that, but there's a chance he won't know it's us, but it's not likely. So I might be gone. We have to go quickly in a rush. It was Professor Mikhail, I forget his last name, Dark Whisper. I have a lot of information in this book now. So there's that. That's really all I came to tell you as far as like the gist of it. That's what's happening right now. We're about to leave.
Penn, your exciting life never ceases to amaze me.
And you know what? I would love to keep up correspondence. Is there an address to send student mail here? Is there a way if I sent a familiar with a letter, would you get it?
If you address the letter to me here, I will receive it.
Okay. I may use a different name or something or unaddressed, but you'll know it's me. And
Perhaps I can come visit you wherever you are living now.
And I kind of get really wide-eyed for a moment and I look at her and I'm like, I would love that, but please understand that I need at least 30 days because we have something very dangerous happening right now. And you are the last person I want anywhere near there for that reason. I would love to have you there in any other circumstance because I would love to do research with you and spend more time with you. But right now we have a very big lich problem and I just really don't want you in harm's way.
That sounds very interesting.
All right
You're
about it.
genuinely concerned for my safety, and I'm touched. I will stay here and continue my studies, and I will see you after school is done.
Perfect. I will write, and really quick, I pull my Staff of the Python off, and it say Rise Noodle very softly, and he comes out, and I hold his little head in my hands, and I put my forehead to his real quick, and I'm like, please keep this person safe. I will be back, but I will not be back for maybe some time. So you're with her now. And I look at her and I say, this is Noodle. He's been a trusty, wonderful friend. I love him so much. He's pretty much literally my strength. So that's yours now. Just keep him safe. The command to make him come out as Rise Noodle, to get him to go back into staff, you say return Noodle. And upon which he probably goes back to his staff, and I put it in her hands and just, I'm like, there you go. And before I think too much about it, I'm like, I have to go. Bye.
She gives you a hug.
Oh, I return the hug.
Thank you, Penn. You are much different than you were before. I like the new you a lot. Thank you for giving me your noodle.
You are so welcome, and I'm not at all uncomfortable. I will see you anon, my friend. And I, with a flash of my whatever you want to call this poncho thing, I'm flipped off through the back towards them at the restricted area, wherever.
All right, so yeah, you guys are over at the restricted area.
Oh, I'm off hanging out with the other students, trying to look like a hippie kid.
Yeah.
We'll wave the pass to get in.
You wave the pass The eye turns red.
That's not good.
Okay, we run now.
And you hear a voice that says, "Expired pass."
Ooh woo.
Turn and kind of like to try and like walk away in a way that does not look like I'm rushing away from something that I should have been doing.
Just like speed walking.
So I come up on this.
Yep.
Time to go.
Oh, did you get the book? What?
Nope.
did I- Oh,
Expired.
Sorry,
Oh.
grabbing Penn by the collar so we could just keep running. Like
All right.
his feet dragging behind me.
I
One day
can
pass.
run.
It's expired. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Can I have it still? Is it a bookmark?
Yeah.
There we go.
I want to keep it, as a memory.
I like mementos. All right, we're out. Running.
All right. You guys make it out the front gates. Guy is up at Guy joins you guys, and
Wander out.
yeah. You guys wander out
And, that kind of inconspicuous whistling.
to your awaiting gargoyles as the campus security is rushing around very urgently, as though something has gone terribly wrong.
Big oranges on the back. Let's go find some paladin, eh?
Yeah, paladin time. Because, we aren't going to piss them off.
Our track
Yeah,
record is incredible.
I look over at Penn and said, "That was really slick, eh?"
Which thing?
The thing where you stole the old library and then tried to cover it with a note.
Not just that professor's notes and books in his room. I mean, I'm sure he had some great stuff, but he might have been evil. Now I feel kind of bad about it. But he works for Zelos and he's after us, so friend of my enemy is my
He's a person. Stop feeling bad about stuff.
Everyone's a person though.
Well, you got that person's old library, and it was quite large, as I remember it. As we went in the room, there was a bunch of scroll and a bunch of book and shit there, and now there's none of that, and you got it all, eh?
Well, I guess I'll rifle through it later. That's gonna be I really hope some of them were magic spell scrolls, and now I just have tear out spells in my book. It's like shh.
You will know in a while.
Instead, it's 140 gigabytes of zombie porn.
Oh, God.
Sorry. On a completely off-topic note, the staff that I've been trying to integrate into my being, what's the percentage on that?
It is about 45% in.
It was 40 last time.
Yeah, well, look,
That's
you went
consistent.
on a magical mystery tour.
Yep.
I gotta portion this out. All right, so
Awesome when it does integrate.
saddling up the gargoyles then.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we already had and we were going.
We're out.
All right, so you guys are making your way to the Paladin Order at Daggerford.
So maybe you keep that book closed when we get to the paladins, eh?
It's
Ben,
You really want
sounds
what's
great.
already in there to mix with a bunch of holy roller stuff, eh?
not particularly, but
That book gonna blow the hell up if you do that, eh?
do we need to? We're warlocks. Do paladins like us? Is everyone inherently classist in this world? I don't know.
It depends on the order. Some of them they judge you by your action. Some of them they judge you by your fate. Eh?
Oh well, I'm super good, so I think.
I'm not standing next to him. That's all I'm saying. Eh? Sometimes the explosion catch the next guy by accident. Eh?
Oh, you would know.
I make and I'm in many explosion. I am give you that for sure.
It's just a regular part of life. So when you guys arrive at Daggerford, when you approach it, it's like there's a second sun.
No.
There's this floating spherical object constantly giving off this radiant light over this kind of small village, and there's a fort in there where you can see the Paladin Order makes their home.
Yeah, I'm going to do the thing because one eye is better at light than the other eye, so it's just going to be.
So maybe we land outside and show some respect, go through the front door, eh?
Yes, that probably, I imagine, being respectful and not our usual shit show selves might be.
I could not have put that better myself, eh?
Yeah, maybe it becomes a question of who has to watch me and who has to watch Penn. I recognize that.
I don't do things. I know the last thing that happened was kind of iffy, but like ultimately,
Penn, you're a necromancer wannabe going to seek paladins. This is going to end badly for one of us.
So perhaps just don't mention like interest in undead, and if somebody was like, oh, we just dealt with a whole bunch of skeletons, don't ask if you can have pieces of it.
I'm refraining from pulling the whole like, so you don't want me to be myself spiel, but like
That is correct.
Damn.
That is
We
very
do not want you to be yourself here. There it is. I lay it out for you just like that. Eh?
All right. You know what? I learned a lot. I got a lot. So you know what? Here we go. I'll make you a deal. And I go like, I hate undead. They suck. I love God. There. That's
It's
me.
simple, eh? We are fighting a evil lich, shadow dragon, evil thing. And we heard they got a weapon specifically designed for that number of evils, and we were wondering if we could very politely borrow it and kill the evil thing with it. That's all we got to do, eh?
Yes. And Penn, you don't even need to like try and pretend to not like undead. Just don't.
maybe
bring it
just
up.
not talk.
Just don't talk at all anymore.
That one's a little harder, but that does remind me. We do say that Corvan sent us, right? They
Was
know.
he a member of this group?
Wasn't this his order?
No, he was a paladin of Bahamut. And also saying, a dead person sent us this way is probably a bad idea.
They can pray. I pray. I've prayed before. I know how to do it.
Yes, but does your praying often involve speaking with the dead?
Was it Calazar or Cookie who told us to come here?
Calazar.
We do some name dropping at the door, and let's face it, if that name don't get us in, then we're not getting in, eh?
Maybe we just say, hey, there's a lich on the loose, and that's a problem.
Calazar
We're trying
sent
to
us.
stop him.
Calazar sent us. He said the thing you got is what we need.
All right.
You know what? Let's try perfect honesty, eh? Maybe it work.
Except for me.
Well, you can be honest, just not so thorough.
So there's a large gate emblazoned with a shield and an emblem of a silver gauntlet.
Well, here's where we find if any of your patron are evil, eh?
Knock, knock, knock.
Gonna die if we walk through here? Am I gonna be in excruciating pain?
Yes.
Someone looks over one of the partitions at the wall. You approach the Order of the Silver Gauntlet. Do you require aid?
Yes.
Identify yourselves.
We
We-
are representatives of the Avalon Knights Association.
We were under the impression that the Avalon Knights were no longer in operation.
We are restarting it.
Calazar sent us himself, eh?
The Dark Elf of Avalon.
That the one and only, eh?
One moment.
The gate's shut again.
They somehow shut more. 4 more gates closed.
Hear the sounds inside.
You hear people multiple locks. And the gates open slowly.
All right.
Well,
Shall
here we go, man.
You may be allowed in. I can take you to the Lord Commander.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, eh?
All right.
All right. And so he leads you up to the fort, and you notice there are a number of different paladins, almost of different orders, just all kind of milling about here. It seems to be an unusual mix right now. It almost looks like they're preparing for something.
And I look at the other
walking us in and be like, "Oh, what's going on today?"
Nothing today, but we've received orders that there is a uprising to the east. They've requested our aid. So a number of our troops are gearing up to head out. Wherever there's injustice in the world, our order does seek to aid.
East is
But
not the direction of the keep, is it?
I think we're west.
No, well, you guys are a little bit to the north.
What kind of uprising?
Infernal, madam.
Oh, that's not good.
No. The forces of the Nine Hells tend to keep to themselves fairly well. But they've been very active recently in a couple towns past the desert. We've been dispatched out to examine the situation and help whoever we can.
Are they harming people?
Have you ever known devils or demons not to harm people?
Penn, do not get into this. Penn.
I've heard
Stop.
No. And I look at Richard.
I shove my hand over his mouth.
And with awakened mind, I just like, because it's not even a thing for my mouth, I just look at him and I'm like, really? So you think William would just be happy with us letting them say that?
Penn, I think if we don't mention the fact that William exists in the keep, or his sister, they get to live longer.
Fine.
Don't mean to be overly forceful or disrespectful, but we have a huge favor, but a fairly simple favor to ask of you, eh?
Well, don't ask me. Ask the Lord Commander. He'll see you in a moment.
Snicker
And,
in my mind. I'm just like, Lord Commander? What? And I look at Yam like, surely this has to sound pretentious to you.
Oh,
This is mind to mind?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's stuffy as fuck, eh? But you got to grease the wheel somehow, eh?
Of course.
I don't care what else he do. I don't care what else he think he is. I need one glowing sword, and we need to get the hell out. That's our job here today, eh?
Dad,
So,
probably shouldn't invite them to the keep. Not even slightly.
No, we don't have a judgmental bastard wing. That's all. That's.
So you're brought to a kind of a bench outside of this room inside the fort, and there are still a number of paladins milling about doing their thing. The radiant glow of this sphere permeates everything here. And it's like no nighttime has touched this place in a very long time.
Sunburns from this.
Sometimes. Depends on how sensitive you are to the light. And finally, the door opens, and a couple armored individuals carrying shields walk out. And then you hear the voice from inside. You may enter.
Oh, has somebody got a shirt?
Hey, here's your shirt.
Oh, thank you. That's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to ask a favor.
What am I going to do with half a tattoo? That's fucked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that we've given you all your stuff back at this point.
But yeah, now that
I love the idea of you guys sitting outside like the head paladin's office, and Guy is shirtless, bleeding from his stomach.
I can heal that for you.
It don't hurt. Well, not now. It only hurts while it's happening.
But why is it bleeding?
Because it's not finished.
Somebody might have interrupted it halfway through.
How was I to know? I'm only. We don't have time. We walk.
Yeah, your book just black-winded the whole room, eh?
A stout but heavily built gentleman is standing behind a desk with a large map kind of splayed out in a couple of different flags. And he has a couple of different papers and missives kind of spread out on his desk. But he greets you all with a warm smile. He says, "You are representatives from the Avalon Knights Academy.
Yes. Hi, I'm Key3 Tea Leaf.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Reinhold Emmerglow, Lord Commander of the Paladins of Daggerford currently."
Have to introduce ourselves.
You may do as you wish.
Cool.
Your order and organization has been allied with us in the past, and no one can dispute the good that you've done in this world. So we have agreed to hear you out. But I must warn you, I'm a bit understaffed right now. The infernal uprisings are getting worse. We've tried to keep things on the down low because we don't want to cause a panic.
We don't require any soldiers from you. That's not what we're here to ask for, eh?
That's good. Then what can I do for you?
Well, Calazar, he sent us, so you know it's important, eh?
Indeed.
Maybe our treasurer should tell you what we are here for, eh?
Yes, we are here for. Shit, what are we here?
Because our treasurer, she keep really good notes. Eh? She's getting them right now while I speak.
I love that look. It was that like, oh, thanks for throwing this on me.
You done threw me under the
Honestly,
bus.
so what I realized is I'd stepped all over her, so I was just trying to give it back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I just have to turn. It was some weapon.
Yeah, I think that's all we knew was it was a swordy kind of.
It's a holy relic.
You guys were
Holy
looking.
relic.
This sphere that pours radiant light over the land makes it so that no undead can enter this place. You were hoping to get some pieces of it to maybe use in the battle to come.
Gotcha.
Oh, see, I'm fine.
So we have a issue with a lich that is trying to come and destroy the academy, as well as a lot of other innocent people, and so we were hoping to get a piece of your relic to help deal with, preventing undead, preventing him from raising an army and using that, so that we can get to him. At a weaker state.
Geez, why didn't you come here to ask me for something easy, like to take a bear cub away from its mother?
Well, one has to try.
We are here trying to secure your northern flank for you, so you don't got to worry about it, and you can focus on the infernal infestation over on the other side there, eh?
I get it, but it's a bit of a difficult ask to carve off a couple chunks of an ancient holy relic that's floated above this town for eons.
Well, we will certainly return it once we are done, and we're kind of doing you a favor that you now will take care of this issue, so you don't have to be dealing with that and the infernal at the same time.
And to be fair, we are the Arcane Association end of the keep, and I kind of do I don't know, whatever mending does when you do it, I kind of do that. And I'm like, we can theoretically mend your relic once it is done. I can understand how important it must be.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, I cannot make these kinds of agreements on promises and maybes.
That's what I thought, eh? I bet you this is one of those my scratch your back, your scratch my back kind of situation here, eh?
Not necessarily.
Like you're trying to lead towards some kind of trade that you already got in mind. Eh? We don't have much time. I don't want to be rude, but we don't got time, eh?
Not necessarily, sir. I would love to assist you. It is the role of our order to serve, to help purge evils from this world. But you understand the position I'm in.
With awakened mind, I reach out to Dawn and I'm like, did I tell him my name? I specifically remember not telling him my name.
Oh, sorry. Did I jump over that?
Oh, it's fine, because I was like, does this guy know me?
I think we just said we introduced ourselves.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then yeah.
I did not.
Yeah,
No, I remember that I remember that Richard specifically did not introduce himself.
I was gonna. Well, yeah, it's fine. I guess he knows now.
Oh well.
It's a lich, though. You know.
I understand that.
They're evil. They always
Yes.
have to be evil. That's our thing.
They are evil, and they always have to be evil, and that is a thing. But the 9 hells are rising to our realm. I don't have people to spare. And if I compromise our defenses here, I open the entire order up to an attack. So you must understand the position I'm in. I'm sorry for your difficulties, but I'm not sure.
How long before that infernal army gets here, eh?
Hopefully our efforts will make sure that it never does. We have a strategy and we have people in place to solve the issue.
Because if it change anything, we only need the artifact for 3 weeks, eh? We don't even need it today. We could come back.
There may be another way.
Here we go, eh?
It wouldn't have been an issue if Corvan was still alive. That paladin ate liches for breakfast. There was another.
We're after is the one that killed him, eh?
Yes, I had heard about that. It is a sad business. He was a very good soldier. But as I was saying, there may be something else to assist you. While I cannot give you a piece of our relic, there may be something else. Darwin Dawnseer, an old dwarven paladin, member of our order, another good soldier who ate undead for breakfast, had a shield that emanated a similar light to our relic. It was magically imbued by the Morning Lord himself. However, his family got wrapped up in a war with the giants, and he was slain in battle. If you could recover his shield, it would likely aid you in the same way.
You have any idea where the battle happened?
The best thing to do would be to check with the Dawnseer family. They would know for sure.
And where are they located?
I believe, last I heard, they were staying with the Battlehammers in the north.
All right.
Thank you very much, eh? For sure, this is useful, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
Best of luck on your endeavors to protect us from the infernal.
Yes. Thank you. I believe we will need it. And I have every faith in the Avalon Knights Academy organization to deal with this issue. You have proven brave warriors in the past and staunch allies. I wish I could provide you with more assistance, and if I come across anything, I'll certainly send it your way.
That is all we can ask for, eh?
Absolutely.
So you knew Corvo? Personally?
No, just by reputation.
You want to meet him?
I'd love to meet him someday.
You got anything against traveling to the ethereal realm?
Not particularly.
Well, maybe after we go find the shield, you come and visit, eh?
I'd love to hear what he thinks about the Infernal Uprising.
And
Perhaps he
maybe
has
when you
some
come and
insight.
visit, you bring 20, 30 soldiers with you, and we arrange for a very specific day for you to ride up, eh?
Absolutely. There was a legend that Corvan once faced off against Asmodeus himself. I'd love to hear that story.
I'm sure he's got lots of them, eh?
Absolutely.
You guys got anything else you want to ask for? This man is busy, I think, eh?
No. I think I might have more questions for clerics, specifically.
I see. Well,
Jacob, your mic.
it's okay. I truly wish you the best in your battles to come. And again, if I can provide anything further for you, I will send it immediately.
I guarantee we call you on that.
Very well. Good luck in the battles ahead, my friends. Hopefully, at the end of this, we can find peace in our lands once more.
I'll drink to that, eh?
Thank you.
All right. Good day to you. And he gets back to his work.
What time of day is it?
It is, well, you guys did I would say you're getting into the evening at this point, because between, talking with the professor, having breakfast, fleeing the crime scene, and then flying over to Daggerford, you've consumed a large portion of the day at this point.
Well, it's not something we need to bother the Lord about, but I'm assuming we get escorted back out.
Oh, yeah.
The guard that's taking us. Is there some place we could take advantage of? There must be an order like yours must have some place for travelers, eh?
There is an inn here if you wish to stay the night. However, it is difficult to sleep.
Oh, with the big sun thing.
Yes.
Is it not indoors?
You can get indoors, but the light is very bright.
Too bad we can't go back to the school, eh?
Well, your gargoyles could carry you there. You'll arrive a little bit later at night, but you probably could make it.
It's not so much can't get there as not welcome there, but Eh?
Well, I mean, you could get back to the academy, too. You're not too far away.
Oh, yeah, because the place we're going is in the north.
Yeah,
So
we
we'll have to
went
go back.
completely the wrong way for this thing.
We should
Head
go
back to the
home.
academy.
There's
That's
a
my
lot
plan.
to check on.
All right.
I am coming through.
You're
right now.
very...
Oh,
Yeah, now you
Yeah,
are.
you're very quiet, but you're coming through now.
Damn it.
So, are you guys going to saddle up the gargoyles, head home?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, you saddle up the gargoyles and you start heading on home. It's a quiet evening flight. The sun is almost completely set and the moon is beginning to rise. And you're coming up on the keep, and there's a big commotion there.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
There is a giant yellowy green horned creature trundling around the main area of the keep that's drawn quite a crowd.
Oh no. Do we know? I know there was some stuff in the RP channel. Do we know that the other group got dinosaurs?
It was mentioned to you.
Okay.
Is that what this is?
It as a player, it looks like a triceratops. As a character, it looks like a giant 3-horned yellowy green lizard that is enormously rotund. This thing is a tank.
Is what is the commotion positive or like freaking
It's
out?
positive. Everyone is fascinated by this creature. People are
Okay.
running up, giving it like bundles of grass, and it's just like very slowly rinsing the whole thing up.
Okay, immediately. Okay. I don't.
Oh, I can't wait until they explain how they think that was a good idea.
I'm gonna check on what is potentially my greenhorned creature.
Your greenhorn creature is doing very well in its nest. Still in its egg. Are you going to examine this creature?
Yeah.
Uh,
Far at first.
he has a name tag around his neck.
He must be all right then.
What
Got that
does
name.
it say?
Bowling ball.
Okay.
What is bowling?
Yeah, I'm on that page as well.
Yeah, it would have been a field. Would have been. They called it something else. Quoits. Quoits, I think it was. We threw a stick at a bunch of standing, usually like milk bottles or milk
that's
jugs.
that's an entirely different game.
Yeah, but it's where bowling came from, apparently.
Okay, but it's teams of 2 hitting each other, trying to. No,
So yeah,
Either way.
this enormous creature is just kind of like trundling around the main grassy area of the keep, and various small creatures are running up and feeding him things. William is completely in awe of this creature. He's just staring at it. He's like, "It's a dinosaur. We have a dinosaur."
We do. Does
Pretty
anyone
cool.
know how to like command this dinosaur?
And William picks up like a bundle of grass and flowers. It's like he follows these. And as he's holding it up, Bowling Ball is just slowly trundling over to it, licking his beak.
While they're doing this, I have a couple things I need to go do, but as I walk by, just because now I'm curious, I reach out with awakened mind and I'm like, are you an intelligent being?
What?
You can ask questions. That would be a yes.
Okay.
Weirdly, Richard is unfazed because occasionally they show up in the Fae.
They do.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex, especially.
Oof.
Okay, so it's not going to wreck the place. Penn, I need your book and your hands off of it for 2 hours in the bar.
Okay, I trust you implicitly.
But can you even leave it behind? Or are you going to have to sit there and watch? That's why Guy specifically said, keep your hands off of it.
Okay, well,
I want you closing it halfway through again.
So
oh,
as you guys are having this discussion, Barthus like runs out of the blacksmith shop and like puts his hands up against it, and he's like, "Whoa, I can like feel the beat of the earth through this creature. We are bonded."
oh my god, I love this man.
And he like climbs up on top, and he's just like on top, fully hugging it on top. "It's okay, big dude. We are gonna be the best of friends."
Yeah, so we don't have to worry. He's going to have armor in a couple of days. That's good.
I'm going to kind of lean over to Key 3. I have to pick this up now, don't I?
Yeah.
Cool. Can I have that book that I lent to you?
Sure. And I'll reach into the bag and pull out the book.
Am I around?
Oh no, I'm just kind of taking it as sneakily and hoping that Penn is enthralled with the dinosaur enough.
I was actually headed somewhere else, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
Well, as you're headed somewhere else, Penn,
Oof.
and moving away from Bowling Ball, the gates of the storehouse fly open, and another two-legged lizard with short arms and claws and a massive toothy mouth roars as it's pulled on ropes into the yard.
How big is it?
It is quite large. It's about 10, 12 feet tall.
How big is the head in proportion to the body?
It is not a T-Rex.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so it's more smaller.
It's definitely leaner looking.
It's like a big raptor kind of thing.
Kind of like that. And it just kind of roars at you as it comes through these gates.
What is that?
That's the other one they sent.
His arms are too short to reach his stuff, eh? That's why he's so angry.
Yeah, I'm kind of running in there.
What is happening? And I just am, at this point, I'm ignoring it because I'm just like, this is great.
MT1 kind of comes out to explain. He says, "These are the dinosaurs that were sent by the other team. I believe the big one is Bowling Ball, and the other one is only referred to as Mom currently."
Good, because I thought we'd started playing Ark Survival for a minute there.
This is an odd reference. I don't understand it.
I turn to MT1 and I say, our vault is on the bottom floor of the Mage Tower, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I just walk off. Not in a rude way, just in a focused way.
I'm bleeding, asshole. You know, when you got time.
Hey, look, I turn back and I'm like, Gee, I have to grab the books that I got and then go check on Whisper and Handy, and then I will be immediately in the bar.
MT1 picks up his sending stone. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Her name is Snappy.
Yeah.
Fitting.
I'm just gonna make my way to my room.
And
Q3 is having nothing to do with these dinosaurs.
I'm just like, why?
I'm going to the bar and starting to drink. I'm waiting for Penn to show up with the book.
I'm gonna talk to Guy very quickly then.
All right, Guy is in the bar with you because you went to go check on your egg, right?
That's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
So, Guy,
Uh-huh.
small little favor.
Sure thing, eh?
If I go crazy, rogue, get caught under someone's spell,
Yeah, I light you on fire and watch you burn like a Christmas tree, eh?
good. We're in an agreement. Just wanted to make sure.
That's pretty much the plan for you, eh?
Yeah, although 3 things. Blight,
Yep, for
magic
sure.
circle, possibly banishment, because then only part of me really stays behind.
And the other parts come back in a minute when it's too late, eh?
Pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I got one question, eh?
Yeah.
When that moment comes, you gonna fight it or not, eh?
I hope not.
You gonna just let it win? You gonna give up?
Oh, I thought you meant the killing me part. No, I'm gonna fight it.
So why you tell me to kill you, eh? You don't think you're going to win?
I don't want to take that chance.
It's fucking you, eh? You mean you don't win? It's you. You make the final decision. All that can happen, all that the patron can do to you, worst thing, is what already they did to you, the drow, eh? Infinite pain. You already been there. What the hell you got to lose, eh?
It's more.
Fucking fight, man.
Oh, I will. Don't think for a moment I won't.
Good, because we need you, eh?
Yeah.
Every single one of us needs to be here and pulling full power in the same direction, eh?
I know. I just
You're
want
talking
to.
to the world's worst one-horse rider right here, eh? I never put 2 horses together in my life. Now I'm with 3 other people. We are a team of 4.
Yeah. It's weird being part of a group, especially for this long.
That made me need to drink, eh?
Cheers to that.
Just remember, we got nothing to lose.
Yeah. And whatever swill you're about to drink now, let's have some of Cookie's special instead.
Let me make room.
Just kind of pull out the flask, pour it for both of us.
All right.
To winning, eh?
To the good fight.
No, I don't drink to that. Refill that fucking thing, eh?
Isn't there
Another
a weird chance
To
every time
winning.
you drink Cookie's mead that you like?
Yeah, I haven't drank any yet. To winning.
To winning.
All right, con saves, you two.
I have artificial livers.
That's okay. Give me a con save.
Like an artificial con save.
Oh, oh shit! Artificial liver for the win. Yeah, you're both fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head up to my room still entirely sober.
As controlled substance enthusiasts, you are both fine.
Sure. And just in my room, I immediately kind of tear out some other pages of the book. Yes, I'm sorry, Penn.
Oh,
And then I'm pretty much taking some vines from the room, and I'm beautiful minding this thing up.
All right. So while you're beautiful minding, Key 3 and Penn, were there anything you guys are just like noping out of this whole dinosaur situation?
Yep. He just looks at him and is like, I'm too small. No.
No, this is not happening. This is not happening for me.
I just have too many other things to work on right now.
I will go up to my room and I will reach into the bag and pull out the book that was on the Tea Leaf Circus. So I don't know. Do I get there before Penn?
Where was Penn going?
I was going to the vault, and I was just going to get my books, but I was really hoping that there was a chance that Richard Keithley left theirs in there, because I was going to be like,
Okay, so as you arrive to the vault, Key 3's hand is disappearing into the vault portal with the book.
Did I see which book it was?
It was very quick. Give me a perception check. If you get a really high number, I'll let you know which book it was.
Ooh, woo. Let's see.
Have any? I don't think any of us have actually seen. Oh, Richard has seen the cover of the book, right?
No, you didn't see shit.
Yeah, I've seen the cover of the book. Both Keith3 and I kind of hid crap.
I think I saw it too, because I was the one that found it.
I didn't. I specifically remember not seeing it. Otherwise, I'd be all over that shit.
So I go into the. Okay, and also I don't. You don't have to, because if we can't remember, I certainly don't expect you to remember. But when I go into our side of the vault, I know that I'm looking for the books I dumped all in here. What all is in our side at this point?
Oh God, it's a ton of your stuff. A lot of the gold that you guys put in is extracted and put into the main coffers. So it's mostly your guys' magical items, the books you acquired at the library, and anything additional that you kind of packed in your travels.
The Blackwind coin.
Yeah, the Blackwind coin.
Oh, that's in there.
Some sunfire pods.
Yeah, a couple sunfire pods.
Who has the fake Blackwind coin?
Kashano, I think.
That's really important to a certain plan.
I'm.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Yeah. Producer note. We know where it is. Never mind.
I'm gathering up the all the books that I've accumulated that I brought. Like, if there's like a trolley or something, whatever I need to take it out of here.
All right.
And I'm taking them all back up to my room and putting them on my desk. And then just checking to see how Whisper and Handy are doing.
Whisper and Handy are doing fine. Whisper has found out that if she rolls over onto Handy, Handy will give her back scratches. And that is being fully instantiated multiple times.
And I'm just like, well, I'm glad to see you two are doing well. And I kind of pat them both. And I take maybe a couple of the juicier volumes that I've been waiting to look in on. And where would I have found, because I know this is important, where would I have gotten or been placed in my hand or whatever, where would I have gotten the thing that is the cost of everything that we're doing here?
That is in a packet on your desk.
Okay.
That has been prepared by Wormspit and Spoonie as a kind of, these are your details.
So I pick that up specifically, and then maybe one or two necromancy books, and go back down to the bar with Guy.
All right.
And set that packet down and open the book to the ritual page for Guy after sifting through it for a second. And
all right. And Keithree, what do you do with this book after retrieving it?
First, I want to see who the author is.
Okay, so the author is one Samuel Blendon, traveler extraordinaire.
And then I want to read through and see if there's anything that I don't like that doesn't match up with what I know.
There's some interesting stuff. It appears to go a generation or two back.
Oh.
And it describes a rollicky, entertaining kind of family show that's put together. And it describes a number of death-defying feats and some incredible skill and a lot of really cool stuff that was put on display. And then the whole story kind of sours a little bit and turns into this thing. And then they tried to fleece the audience. And then there was shoddy merchandise being sold. There were clearly rigged games at every turn. Rarely had I seen such a performance end in a highway robbery. This is the final.
All right.
Oh, that's magnificent. I love it because we got some backstory, but the characters still don't have a clue.
And it details a bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So you allow Guy to finish his ritual.
Oh, I spend the entire 2 hours screaming directly in his face while he tries to read as it comes back all the way around my belly button.
Well,
Like,
that was
close while he's
that was a quick question. As soon as I dropped that, I was gonna go check on Calazar, since I assume I'll still be close enough to my book.
You will be. As you go to the door to go check on Calazar, the front door of the crab shack is kicked open, and a gnoll and two humans quickly run in and jump up onto a table and plant their banner down.
It better be Avalon Knights again.
No, it's still Team
Growl,
Growl.
Growl, man.
Denizens of the Avalon Knights Academy, fear not, the Guild Rogues Order War Team Lima has returned. I'm Rumble Snarl, this is my brother Daryl, and this is my other brother Daryl.
I know.
Oh, hi, Penn.
Hi. What have y'all been doing?
We're going to stop right there. Meanwhile, out in Waterdeep, a particular lord strolls through the heart of his manor, and is approached by a bespectacled man carrying a briefcase. Lord Zelos, the operation is continuing according to plan. However, there was a wrinkle. Yes, I had heard. It seems Calazar tried to put an end to Blackwind. I didn't think he had it in him. Yes, and he was nearly successful. We don't know if he'll be a viable candidate for the program anymore. Oh, Owen, you simply must learn to be more optimistic. Once it's all said and done, we'll have him, and if it doesn't turn out to be a viable candidate, we have methods to dispose of it, or perhaps other duties. As you wish, sir. And then they step into a room, and it is like a warehouse, and they're standing on a balcony, and there's row upon row upon row extending deep into this place of war-forged adventurers.
Clone Wars.
And he says, don't worry, Owen. 2 more pieces. Then things are going to be real different around here. And that's it for today.
Nice. Awesome session, everybody. Wow. Nice. Well done.
It seems something dark is arising. Yeah, well, I guess that's been the whole theme of the show. Not really a surprise, but we'll have to find out what happens next week on Too Many Warlocks.
Woo! Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you for watching the show. Please be sure to give us a follow on various social media and, of course, here on the channel. We do a giveaway every time we reach a 100-follower landmark, and we are creeping up on that 300-follower mark. So we're going to have some stuff to give away, like this fantastic case with these incredible desk breaker metal dice that you can get. So definitely give us a follow on that stuff and keep up with everything going on with the Mercs of Mischief channel. And I am a very lucky dungeon master because all the fine people that you see displayed out here on the screen are content creators in their own right who have joined me together to play this game. And we like to take a moment here for them to talk about the things that they're doing. Do I have a volunteer?
I'll start because it's killing me.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, no video this week because tomorrow it begins. Deadlands, the RPG, starts tomorrow night. Same time as this game, same channel as this game, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Our very own Noctum Sky down there is going to be in it, along with, you've seen her on our other channel, Narrative, plus 2 people absolutely brand new to the team. So we're starting tomorrow night. It should be great fun because none of them have ever played before. So this is going to be a blast. Show up. The worst that could happen is a train wreck, and those are fun to watch too.
Prepare to ye and or ha.
Yes. Oh, that's all you need.
Absolutely. What's going on with Roll for Initiative? You came back from Gen Con. I imagine you have content.
Lots and lots of Gen Con content. So the rest of our Gen Con vlog will be up tomorrow, and then later in the week we will have like a haul and wrap up, and then there's like interviews and tons of stuff coming in the future. So,
All these things.
yeah.
All right.
As soon as I edit them.
All right, Richard, you've got that new blog going. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so recently I've added poetry because I realized I can write some semi-okay poetry.
Excellent.
And I'm posting the link into the chat again.
Very well.
As I will continue to do.
So be sure to check out that link, and you can see all the latest musings from our very own Richard Bennett.
Yeah, I update pretty much daily.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, that's for this entire week. There's going to be 1 poem coming out every day about a deadly 7th sin.
Oh, neat. So really uplifting.
Oh yeah, no. Check out the 2 that happened yesterday and today.
Excellent, excellent.
And
so be sure to check that out with the link in the chat there.
Yep.
And lastly, Noctum Sky, what have you been up to? I heard you've been fighting end things.
Oh yes, we've been doing all kind of end stuff and Minecraft on the Avalon Keep. One day they'll all come back and I won't be alone. But other than that, I will be in the Deadlands campaign, so I'll be playing Jet, a fun character I played back during the charity live stream. But also a side note just about the Mercs of Mischief, we do have a YouTube, and we're in that last stretch to be right at almost 100 subscribers. I think we're at 70 something right now.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
If you want to catch, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, once we get to 100, we can simplify our URL.
Hooray!
So if you want to catch up on all that, all our episodes that we have should be there in the past. So
All right.
Yes. And,
On that subject, we are at almost 10,000 total views on this channel. I noticed that the other night. We're over 9,500 total views.
that's true.
It's all because of you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so Gilbetta and I were also at Gen Con, and we had the opportunity to meet so many awesome people. So if any of you awesome people that we met there are watching us right now, thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoy. We hope you stick around. And also for the rest of you, please, well, we're glad you're watching too, but please stay tuned because there is some new cool stuff on the horizon. Yes, we met an awesome bard who actually, if you look back in our videos, you can see a quick little concert from him. But other great contacts that are going to result in some really interesting new, dare I say, innovative content coming out on the channel. So please make sure to give us that follow and follow us on YouTube and hop on our Discord if you really want to stay involved. And other than that,
That's it. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, class dismissed.